Hello, this is Global Knitter and my name is Caroline, and today we are going to talk about flying with your knitting and knitting needles, my short trip to Merida, and the biggest sale of the year in Mexico, which is called Buen. So I have updated the PDF file about the rules to travel with your knitting and knitting needles by plane, to bring them in the cabin with you. I now have 20 countries on my file, and it has the airports, the countries, the references, the date where I got these references, and also a summary of the references. So you can see, as always, please check just before you go, because the rules are always changing. And you can download this PDF file. The link is in the description of this YouTube video. And last week I went on a short trip to Merida with my husband, and because I like to test the rules and I wasn't in uniform, I was a passenger, I decided to travel with my knitting, and I had aluminium circular needles, interchangeable. And as you can see from the rules in Mexico, a lot of people think it's not allowed to travel with your knitting. However, the rules say that it is permitted but with restrictions, but it's impossible to find the restrictions. So what I did, I put all of my knittings, what I needed for the trip, in a small pencil case, and I removed the needles from the knitting and I put them with the pens and pencils, and I went through security like this, both in Toluca and in Merida. And that brings me to my trip to Merida. That time I wasn't lucky because it was raining all day. However, I wanted to show you some pictures that my friend from at above Mexico sent me to show you Merida when it's sunny, which is most of the time. In case you don't know, Merida is the capital of Yucatan in Mexico, and it's the safest city in Mexico. And of course, before we traveled to Merida, I checked on Google Maps to see if there were any yarn shop. They have crochet that is everywhere in Mexico, in every city, so nothing unusual about it. And then this shop called Estambre y Café, which means yarn and coffee, caught my eye, and it looked like you could have a coffee while being in a yarn store, so I thought, oh, okay, let's go and visit this. So we went, and it was, at first we thought we were in the wrong place because it's just a street with houses. It's a residential area. And then we saw, yes, there's a house and it has a sign with Estambre y Café. We got in and I said, no, there's no more coffee shop here, it's just yarn. And it was tiny. It seems like it's in the front room of a home. And they have yarn, and it's mainly acrylic. They do a lot for amigurumi. They sell eyes as well for the amigurumi and everything that goes with it. And it's the only place we went to. And to tell you the truth, I was a bit disappointed. And they only had one chair for the husband. not so comfortable, as you can see, but nice people, nice lady who was helping us. But yeah, apart from crochet, I think it's just small shop like this in Merida. The other big event in Mexico while I was on leave at home this time is this weekend, or last weekend, the weekend that was just passed. They had the biggest sale of the year in Mexico. It's called Buen. And especially if you're planning to move to Mexico, if you're watching this channel because you're moving to Mexico or maybe planning, it's the best time of the year to buy TVs, sofas, furniture, everything you can think of, even plane ticket. It's good deals. And this year we didn't buy too many things. We bought a new Christmas tree for the lounge that we're going to receive soon. Because we have two lounges. This is the family room. We have a formal lounge as well in the front where I do my yarn spinning actually, and I wanted to have a big Christmas tree there. And of course I went to yarn store. I went to Crochet to check out what they had. They had 10% on all the store and a small selection of yarn with 20, 30, 40% discount. And then I went to Katia Yarn in Metepec, my local yarn store in a way. And again, they had some reduction on some yarn, not all of them. And so I bought some Katia Azteca and Wow and something else. It's called Fun, I think something fun. Anyway, I will show you the pictures. And they had some discounts. And so that's about all I did this time. And also I did a lot of knitting. I finished the scarf for my husband. Let me show you. I've blocked it, finished it. He's very happy, and especially now that we're going to Korea and it's super cold, it's freezing. So it's going to be warm. This, I finished the hat with the wool I bought in Bambridge in the Lamb and Kid. Finished it, and this is how it looks. And I think it's a bit tall, but I was trying it out, and I think the way I'm going to wear it is like this. And it looks nice like this. I'm super happy. And also I finished from the yarn I bought last time in Katia. It's a granny square jumper. It's not my size, so I cannot model it. It's small. I'm going to gift it for Christmas. I'm a bit disappointed because they said that the granny squares had to be 12 centimeters. I blocked them so that they were 12 centimeters, but it looks way smaller than on the model, on the pattern. And if you have 3 rows of 12 centimeters, it should be 36, but the pattern says 40 something, so I don't know how they did the math. But otherwise it's nice. It's quite heavy, but it's nice. And then I finished knitting the little boy's jumper, but I have to stitch it together, and I hate doing this. And after I did the 42 granny squares, I couldn't do it anymore. That's it. And in the sale in Crochet, I bought this. It's by Knit Pro. It's called Terra. It's the cats playing. Terra Symphony. And it had 10% discount in, and I think I'm going to make a hat for my husband. I want to have a go at the muscle row hat. It should be enough with 100 grams. And also on the plane to Merida and back, I was working on this hat. It's the double O hat. It's by Yours Yarn. You know, it's the company that makes the stripy yarn for the socks. And on the way back from Merida, I had to frog it because I thought it was way too big, and if it's too big, I'm not going to wear it. So I still have to knit more. It's the same principle as the Musabro hat. So it's doubled, so I have to make it bigger. And the only difference, well, of course, the way you increase, decrease is a bit different, I think. The only difference is that they have a Latvian, let me see what it's called, Latvian braid edge to join the two different yarns. You need 2 balls of spiral grain, like this. It's 50 grams each, so you use 100 grams altogether. And that's what I've been up to this leave. I'm going back to work. I was supposed to go back to San Francisco on my first trip, but they changed my roster. It's the second time that they don't allow me to go to San Francisco. They changed it for something else. So instead I'm going to Las Vegas. Any other day I would be super happy, but it's going to be the Grand Prix in Las Vegas, and you know or you don't know, I wouldn't know if it wasn't for my husband, that they do the Grand Prix in the streets. So I don't know how this is going to affect me. Apparently they do it at night, and the hotel is close to the fashion mall. I don't know if it's going to affect my rest or if it's going to affect us going to the airport, because the flight back is at midnight or close to midnight. So I'm not too sure, but I hope I can go to my favorite yarn shop, Sin City Knits, and I can go and sit with the ladies, and it's always nice there. And then I'm going to Toronto for 3 days, and of course I'm going to see Anita. I'm planning to stay with her for a couple of nights, and we're planning to do a lot of knitting and catching up on gossip and everything. So I know I always love to go visit her house. If she allows me, I will show you. It's super nice. It's like a retreat every time I go there. So yes, that's it for me from Mexico, and I will see you next week, probably with an update on Las Vegas, maybe Toronto. Well, you can expect this in the future. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.